They've had their say. Seems like they've had that kind of say around here for too long. Look, I had to stand up for myself alone. I went in there to remind them that somewhere in this world there's still a little law and order left. To let them know in the only kind of terms that their kind understand is that they can't bribe, or threaten their way out of what they did. If they can do this to me and get away with it, then you give them the eternal right to do the same damn thing to any one of you.
All right, good people. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is about 2:30 in the morning, and I am getting ready to go to work. Got to take off and make a quick down and back trip to Florida this morning. Not that big a deal for an old truck driver like me. Anyway, you know, I said that I wasn't going to do this, but unfortunately I have to. I said that I was not going to mix my campaign with the Nolan Wells situation, but there is no way to avoid this in light of what's going on and other things that I have heard that are all playing into this that I don't fucking like. And I know some of y'all are like, well, you shouldn't cuss in a campaign video. I don't care. I don't give a damn. And let me tell y'all why I don't care. Because I am that pissed off. Tell you the truth, y'all, the reason that I'm doing this video on a Tuesday morning, and this has been on my mind since Saturday, is because I had to calm down. Otherwise, y'all would have heard a whole lot more cussing on here. Y'all know who's over the investigation for Nolan Wells? The Sheriff's Department. They're investigating it. The FBI, well, honestly, I hadn't seen the FBI investigating anything other than threats against the judge. None of the threats against content creators, none of the threats against Christine and Elmore Wamsley, none of the threats against Ben Crump, you know, just on the judge and those people, you know. Because Kash Patel's a fucking retard. Yeah, I said it. That drunk couldn't investigate nothing. That drunk couldn't find boobs on Bourbon Street during Mardi Gras. Yeah, I said it. So, who does the investigation? Well, it's got to be the Sheriff's Department. Now, I'm not running for Jackson County Sheriff. I'm running for Sheriff in Harrison County, right next door. But guess what, folks? We have black people in barrier islands, too. Matter of fact, we've got just as many barrier islands that fall under Harrison County as do Jackson County. Jackson County's got Horn Island, Petty Boy, and Round. Harrison County, we got Ship, Cat, and Deer. And Dog Key if it ever decides to surface again. So, when you're looking at this and you look at the Sheriff's Department's the investigators, and the Sheriff's Department is investigating this not as a homicide, but as an accidental death investigation, it makes one wonder, doesn't it? Certainly makes me wonder. Makes me wonder what the hell's going on. You know, a homicide investigation could always turn into an accidental death investigation, but it's hard to turn an accidental death investigation into a homicide investigation when you're discounting a lot of the evidence. They didn't look at the boat. They didn't look at a lot of things. Honestly, regardless as to, and No offense, Miss Christine, when you see this, because I know you will. Please don't take this the wrong way, but this is just the way I feel. If I'm doing a homicide investigation, I don't care about your feelings. I want your evidence. I'm going to go get a warrant. That's it. I want your cell phone. Oh well, we'll cut. No, 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 no. Here's your warrant. Give me the phone. Sorry, that's just the way I feel, folks, and I make no apologies for it because times, the chain of custody is crucial, and things get deleted off of clouds and things like that. From what I've heard, I want this stuff to be analyzed as immediately as possible so that we can find out what happened. This is how you run an investigation. Apparently, John Ledbetter forgot that. And I know I'm not running against John Ledbetter, but I'm just throwing this out there so that y'all know where my mind goes and how my mind operates. I want the evidence. If it was me running that investigation, the boats would have been searched already. With or without a search warrant, it all depends on if they cooperated and gave consent. Okay, great. If not, guess what? Search warrant time. Boom. Done. I want everything. I want all electronic devices. I want the fish finder. I want the GPS. I want everything. Anything that holds a log of where that boat went, if they got a satellite phone on it, which, hey, they're offshore boats, they might. I want that iridium. I want it all. I want everything. And we're going over the boat. Now, people are saying, well, there's blood on the boat. There's blood on every boat. Let's be honest. We're going to clean fish on boats. It's going to have blood. We're going to cut ourselves. Hell, I lost part of a finger on my boat. So blood on a boat's not that big a deal. But I would damn sure love to DNA and type match it to find out, hey, you know what? Nolan was on this boat because I've got his DNA right here. So we know that he was at least on this boat somehow. And how much of his blood is on that boat? And if anybody tried to obstruct me, well, they'd be going to jail. Period. Cuff up. You're done. Bond out. This is your court date. I'm not playing. Had that happened here in Harrison County with me as sheriff, this investigation would have went a whole different way. I love locking criminals up. I am not, yes, I am running as a Democrat, but I'm not your average Democrat. I'm not a liberal by any stretch. I'm more liberal than most in Mississippi. But when it comes to locking a criminal up, shit, I'll put cuffs on them quicker than somebody else will. No problem doing it. You break the law, your ass is going to jail. If it's an arrestable offense. And guess what? Obstruction of justice, impeding my investigation, shit like that, especially in time. Yeah, you're going to jail, buddy. Cuff up. Turn around, cuff up. Let's go. Well, you can tell I spent a lot of time as a CEO doing that little fucking finger twirl. Yeah, turn around, cuff up. It's that simple. That's it. I don't care. I do not give a damn. You're going to jail. Or you're going to cooperate with the investigation. You don't like it, you got a third option. You can always go get a lawyer, but your lawyer ain't going to stop my search warrant. That's all there is to it. You're not going to stop it. You're going to give up what I want you to give up if you got it. And if you say you ain't got it, I'm going to look for it. My investigative team will go in there. You might see me personally there if it's a big enough case like this here. Oh, I'd be every step of the way with it. I'd at least want daily updates on it. What's going on? Where are we? What are we doing? What are you doing today? Who are you talking to today? And yes, there are things that I would keep close to the vest. But this is twofold. One, I'm dotting my I's, crossing my T's. Less chance of getting an appeal in court if I do shit the right way. And two, if the people I think are guilty are actually innocent, well, now they have the due process and the exculpatory evidence that they are constitutionally required to have when they go to court. Justice for all, ain't that what we said? Ain't that the last words to the pledge? Liberty and justice for all? Well, guess what? That's justice for all. I believe in the Constitution. I believe in the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the Sixth Amendment, the Eighth Amendment, 14th Amendment. I believe in those 100%. And if anybody's got an issue with that, then you don't need to wear a badge. Now, this is the part of the video that really pissed me off. That's going to really piss me off, that I had to really calm down from. Saturday, I was at a rally at the Jackson County Courthouse. And it was a rally for Nolan Wells. There was a family there, the family of Phallus Williams Polk. Now, before this, I was familiar with what happened to the extent of I saw the video of the shooting. But I didn't know the name of the woman who was shot or any other circumstances beyond that was a stupid shooting. A very piss poor shooting. Let me show y'all something. Like I said, I'm not your average Democrat. I believe in guns. I believe wholly in the Second Amendment. I believe everybody's got a right to carry one and everybody should. So before you Republicans go, oh, well, he's just a Democrat gun grabber. Does it look like it? Does it look like I'm a gun grabber? I believe everybody should carry one of these. Nice little 1911. Okay? I've carried guns for years. Years. Decades. About two of them. In just a few days, I will be 42 years old. I've carried a gun since I was 21. I train with it. I believe in gun safety. Yeah, y'all saw the hammer back on it. It's a 1911. It's combat loaded. I always keep it combat loaded. Combat loaded, if you don't know, full magazine, one in the tube, one in the chamber. You know, I know the power of this weapon. I thoroughly know the power of it. I know what happens if I touch that trigger. I know that this 230 grain 45 ACP projectile coming out of here at about 800 feet per second is going to really fuck up somebody's day if it don't kill them. More than likely, it's going to kill them because I'm going to hit you center mass and I don't miss. So more than likely, you're gonna die. And because of my training, you're getting two of them. If I squeeze the trigger once, I'm gonna squeeze it one more time. Double tap every time. 8 in the magazine. There's 9 rounds in this weapon total. I know that if I squeeze that trigger, I'm going to take somebody's life if I'm pointing it at somebody. Luckily, the only thing I've ever actually had to shoot at was paper targets. Luckily, I've never had to take a life. Doesn't mean I'm not prepared to. Doesn't mean I won't. It certainly means I don't want to. But if it comes down to it, I absolutely will. But it better be the right fucking situation. And in a neighborhood off of Robinson Road in Gulfport, where a woman is in a low speed chase, and you are in a neighborhood surrounded by houses on all sides, you're stupid. The officer stepped into the way of Miss Fallis's vehicle. That is what we call officer created jeopardy. He put his own self in jeopardy. He put his own life at risk senselessly. And then he drew his weapon, 2-hand high point position, and fired 6 shots. I had to go back and watch the video to remember. I thought it was only 3 for a minute. But when I went back and watched the video that I made on this earlier, it was 6 shots. I covered this back in March. 6 rounds left his weapon. And it was rapid fire. It wasn't boom, 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 boom. It was boom, 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 boom. 6 rounds in rapid succession. If he had been carrying a revolver, they would have emptied it. Now, what if he'd have missed? What if it would have went through the windshield, through the driver's side window, and into somebody's house? Bullets don't stop. They're going to keep going until they hit enough resistance to stop. 9mm travel about a mile, maybe a little more, maybe a lot more than that. Unless you got a strong backstop. Even with hollow points, which are made to go in and stop. Like I said, I've carried a gun for 20 fucking years. Now, here's the thing. Matt Haley, who I am running against, will not talk to the family. They won't release body cam evidence. They won't release dash cam footage. They won't release none of this. If it wasn't for that ring camera, we wouldn't have any evidence that it happened other than Miss Fallis's dead body. That would be our only evidence. We wouldn't have known that the officer stepped in front of that vehicle that Miss Fallis was driving to give him a reason to draw and fire. We wouldn't have known that. You know what Matt Haley does? He runs to the jail and runs right behind that locked door. When you walk into the jail, that door that's on the far right wall, he runs behind that and locks the door. Why? Because Matt Haley is scared of us. He thinks that he is above us. He does not want to talk to us. Unless you have special privileges. You know what Sheriff Anthony Allen's going to do? Day one, I'm going to go get maintenance or an inmate worker, one of the two, out of that jail. And as soon as I put my hand down, I'm giving the order right then, probably right after I get done taking the oath and get handed my sheriff's badge. Go pull that door off. I want that door off the hinges before I get away from this podium. That is my first order as your sheriff of Harrison County. That door's coming off the hinges. Go stick it in a maintenance shed somewhere. That door is coming down. You know why that door's coming down? Because you're going to have access to me. I work for you. Why wouldn't you? Now, I may have, there's going to be one person you're going to have to go through to get to me, and it'll probably be my secretary. Just in case I'm in a meeting with somebody else who has an issue. And then if you want to speak to me, open door policy, y'all. That's the way it is. Just as freely as I put my number out on YouTube, 228-337-2099. That is my cell number. That rings this phone right here. The only phone I have. Show up, walk in. I'll be there. And I'm not going to be a 9-to-5 sheriff. I'm going to be there. I'll probably be in the office Saturdays and Sundays. Why? Because shit's got to get done in this county. Now, here's what else is going to happen. Harrison County is going to be a lot safer. I plan on working with the police chiefs of all five cities on the coast. Or all 5 cities in Harrison County, I should say. I want to know what their problem is, where they need help, and how I can help. Another thing is there will be mental health staff on duty. At least 2 per shift. They will not be certified law enforcement. They will be certified mental health counselors. And they will be made available to every department in the county. Highway Patrol, DMR, Biloxi, Gulfport, Long Beach, Pass Christian, D'Iberville PD, Harrison County Sheriff's Department. The Green Jeans can use them if they need them. And they're all going to be CIT certified. They're going to be CNT certified. Hostage negotiators. Because we've got a few more standoffs on the coast here lately than I think I've ever seen. And it would be nice to have mental health counselors to try to talk them back from a ledge so that we don't have to use deadly force. This is a last resort. Deadly force is always a last resort. I've got no problem using force. I have certainly used my fair share of force in my life, but never deadly. And I thank God for that. I'm glad I could look at y'all right now and tell y'all that I've never taken a life. I'm proud of that record. 20 years of carrying a gun and I've never taken a life. I'm proud of that. That means I'm doing something right. I've carried it professionally, I've carried it personally. And I can say that I have never killed anybody. And I can say that proudly. That's why I want mental health staff on duty, ready to go. I also want to expand the jail because our jail capacity is the same as it was in 1990. Well, this is 2026. We're about 36 years past that. We've grown by 25% our population of the county, and we have more tourism here than we ever have. Guess what? We need to expand the jail. And here's something else. Speaking of expanding the jail, you sell drugs in Harrison County, your ass is mine. Period. I don't care what it is. You sell drugs, expect me. I will stand in your living room while your ass is handcuffed. I'm going to smoke a cigarette in your house and drink my Mountain Dew while I'm doing the paperwork and making sure everything else is done. I'm not playing. Matter of fact, you sell drugs. I am all for civil asset forfeiture to take your stuff. If there's a way I could use that law, I absolutely will. You sell drugs out of your house and you can't prove a legitimate source of income that you bought your house with, I'm going to take it. I will absolutely take it. I'm not playing. We're going to stop these drugs here in Harrison County, damn it. Y'all just thought we had a war on drugs. Y'all fixing to see a war on it. Like I said, I'm not your average Democrat. You sell drugs? I'm taking your car, I'm taking your house, I'm taking everything I can. And I'm going to sell it at county auction. And the proceeds will go back into the community, go back into the county. I'm not playing. I'm not going to play with you. I'm going to tell y'all right now, my idols for sheriff, let me tell you who they are. Billy Woods, Marion County, Florida. Grady Judd, Polk County, Florida. Wayne Ivey, Brevard County, Florida. Go to any one of those three counties and play around, you're going to find something out. Well, guess what? Harrison County, you fixing to add that to the list too. I'm not playing. You commit a crime in Harrison County, you're going to pay the price. I don't care who you are, who you're connected to, who you know. I don't give a damn if the governor is your uncle, the president is your brother, and your dad is the mayor of whatever. I don't care. You commit a crime in Harrison County, you're going to jail. That's it. That's all there is to it. We're going to turn Harrison County into FAFO. Matter of fact, I'll probably put that on my yard signs. FAFO. We all know what that means. Because you fixing to find out. You sell drugs in Harrison County, you're going to find out. You like to go ahead and engage in gang activity in Harrison County, you're going to find out. You want to go ahead and commit violent crimes in Harrison County, time for you to find out. I promise you, you will find out. You want to kill people? You're going to find out. I don't care who you are. You will find out. I'm not playing anymore. Because I'm tired of the way the coast looks. I want to improve it. I want to make the coast safe again. Now, currently I live in Long Beach. Long Beach Police Department, I want to talk about them for a minute. They have always been an FAFO department. Well, guess what? The whole county is about to be like Long Beach. We fixing to be FAFO. From bridge to bridge, from the beach to the county line to Stone County. And if the jail's not expanded, jail ain't big enough, well, guess what? I'm pretty sure Stone County's got room for you. Jackson County's got room for you. Pearl River County's got room for you. They're regional. George County might have room for you. I don't care. I'll find a place to put you. We're not playing. We're going to do it right. We're going to follow the Constitution. We're going to follow the law. But if we're going to follow the law, you're going to follow the law too. The law is for everybody. You know why that woman is standing up there blindfolded, holding the scales? You know, Lady Justice? You know why she's blindfolded? Because the law is for everybody. Just my thoughts. I got to go to work. Y'all have a good day. Share this video if you live in Harrison County, please. Putting my name on the ballot in January. I'm about to start ramping up my election campaign. Justice for Nolan Wells. Justice for Fallis Williams Polk.